Once upon a time, there was a giant teddy bear who was very happy and lived in the woods, and he had a lot of friends. And
he just happened to belong to a science fiction fantasy reading group. The science fiction fantasy reading group was in a very large tree hollowed out by these large, very sentient termites who were unionized under the local 468. But a problem arose when the termites under the 468 couldn't come up with a new contract with the overlords of the forest. They couldn't agree to a contract raise and mutual health benefits. So the termites went on strike. And as soon as they went on strike, the tree started to fall apart. Now, on a Sunday evening, when the giant, lovable teddy bear and his group of other stuffed animals was getting together for their weekly book reading,
Jen.
They decided to read a book that would bring out the best in all of them. It would bring out their inner goddess. I did that right when you did it. So, so at that moment, a giant spaceship full of space pirates and space Mormon pirates bringing an illegal load of calamari to the planet because the termites, all they cared about was their calamari. They were sentient and they loved their sushi. Yeah, and they were part of their concept.
Hey, your time's over! Meanwhile, the teddy bears had a book discussion group leader, and that group discussion leader decided to read a story to them that they had found in the ashes of what had been a brothel fire. That ancient tome not only directed the teddy bear book discussion group in how to cure termites of sicknesses caused by weird squid calamari, but it also taught them the ancient secret rites of how to meet.
Bill.
It was unfortunately pretty well meaningless, because if you remember, what we have here is an ancient tome, a book made of paper. Paper is made of wood. We had a sudden infection. This is how science fiction works. And suddenly we had all these damn termites everywhere. What did they do with the book? They drilled holes through it, turned it all into termite shit. So it was all over. They took care of it all. They then went ahead and they started taking a look around when they saw this tree, which you already know has been eaten down through the nose. And they said, what the hell does teddy bear taste like? Well, first thing you have to do is you start nibbling on the outer edge.
And so the teddy bear realized that these aliens and the termites had teamed up together, I suppose.
They were just hungry.
They were just hungry. They had teamed up together on a hangry mission to come after this teddy bear. So the teddy bears traveled to the nearby group of ninja gnomes that could set themselves on fire, and they decided that they were together going to form their union, and they were going to go after the tentacle termites and cause a great war. Yes.
Unfortunately, the gnomes and termites, they never got along. They never got along. So at the first meeting, the gnomes ate the termites.
Gnomes are winning!
No, wait, that made them puke horribly. And they died.
Who is left?
That gnome is actually a net gain for the community.
Someone
It turned
tweet
into
that.
useful raw materials that way, you see. Then along came the legion of vampires. Was it? No, I smell gnome. I smell gnome. They came. Gnomes are full. I mean, very concentrated in the gnomish metabolism. And so the vampires set to, and they ate and ate.
Aaron.
So the gnomes ate what?
The
Vampires ate the gnomes. They don't know
That was a teddy bear.
Was it
I'm
no?
sorry,
So-
I confused there for a moment, it's just so exciting.
The vampires ate the gnomes. Meanwhile, the teddy bears who'd been watching this from afar watched their gnomish ninja warriors slain on the battlefield, and they were distraught. A member of their number, who had secretly married one of the gnomes in secret, whose name was William Wallace the teddy bear, rallied the teddy bear troops in secret. They painted half their faces with blue, they carried Scottish weapons, they were tired of the oppression from these evil vampire overlords. So they rose.
So at that moment, as they were ready for battle, we got the gnomes and the
No, the
no,
gnomes
the
right here.
vampires and the teddy bear.
Yes.
So, sifting through the remains of the ancient tree, Yggdrasil, they discovered one scrap of paper left that said Union. And at that moment, the leader of the teddy bears, William Wallace Teddy Bear, yelled, "For freedom!" and charged forward and kissed the leader of the vampires, forming a union. Kissed. On the lips, teddy bear, full on teddy bear kiss. Teddy tongue. And to form a union. The vampire, tasting the tongue,
Knew that it could have been a more perfect union. And so the vampire pushed the teddy away, but William Wallace, teddy bear, then realized that he was shaming his Ruxpin kin. Because he did not, it wasn't that interbreeding with the vampires would cause great harm to the community. Surely he wanted to see peace too, but he was a grieving teddy. Why should he be sticking his tongue down the throat of a filthy, filthy vampire who had helped kill all of the termites, who helped house all of the books that his book group loved to read, Jed?
At this point, everyone was concerned with forming a more perfect union. The time machine then appeared. Thomas Jefferson stepped down. Followed by Abraham Lincoln. We didn't really want to know what they'd been doing in the back of the time machine.
Yes, we do.
But it had been, well, it was legal in some states. They had come out and they had decided that they were going to bring freedom to this poor, pitiful planet that had been abused by this constant warring back and forth between magic creatures and science, technology, and the evil of magic, goodness and the evil of magic, and all the nice things and the evil of magic. You may detect a trend here. They decided to go ahead and bring freedom and glory and everything like this. They decided that the first thing that they would establish would be a Dairy Queen.
So while eating at the Dairy Queen,
I wish there was Dairy Queen here now.
Abraham Lincoln remembered his first
The chicken
love,
basket sounds good.
vampire hunting. And decided that he must team up then with his velveteen friends and attack the vampires and slay them once and for all in a great bloody battle to bring freedom to the true wonderful members, the teddy bear community. So they ate their DQ blizzards together, they wiped their chocolatey froth from their cotton faces, and they went to war.
But they didn't count on their 143rd flavor being revealed as type O. So Dairy Queen opened up in the shadows, and it only served ice cream to vampires. And the vampires grew fat, healthy, and mean. And they took after everything that was cute, or furry, or good, or even somewhat nice. And they tore, rampaging through all of known space with their little spiritual space. And they ate everything that was not evil.
Here.
So the vampires desolating the world in the face of our hero teddy bears, led by the wonderful leader, William Wallace Teddy Bear, continue raiding and pillaging the land in true Viking style. Burning, killing, slaughtering, raping, doing everything bad.
Tipping cows.
Tipping cows. And they even burned the last dairy. The teddy bears, the teddy bears stood forward as the leader of vampires came forward in his mighty black helm, and the teddy bear ripped his velveteen fur off and exposed Frodo Baggins. He lifted that ring in the air and said, "My precious."
And which, wait, so. Is this happening? Is this our live? We voted against okay. I vote. Let's make this panel great again.
Some science fiction.
Yes. So at that moment, in a distant galaxy, a young space farmer felt the call of the mighty ring from afar, and knew that he had one calling, and that was to find Thomas Jefferson to help restore the glory of the Union that Abraham Lincoln had befouled by accidentally unleashing another war. The great emancipator, no more.
Space farmer?
Space farmer and space
Coming
farmer
after the
felt
ring.
call to come back and
You took us to the ring. I just
Pay
followed,
attention to each other.
which is what you do with the
particularly
ring.
like we're out in left field.
That's part of the game.
That's true. So, though Jefferson wanted to assist in the creation of a better world, he did not want to assist foul vampires. For when a good friend such as Abraham Lincoln starts a war with vampires, you have to be on your team. You can't side with vampires if your best friend has been fighting them this whole time. And so what ends up happening is Jefferson buys a lot of rings. He knows a lot of ladies. He knows a lot of people who shimmy dance on the side. He knows a lot of places that have glitter and gold. So he gets a lot of rings. And he piles them into this gigantic mountain. And in that gigantic mountain of rings and sparkly things, he puts the one true ring inside. But then, over this giant mountain, he pours concrete. He puts
Concrete Mountain is now known as Aspen, Colorado. People ski down it because they go, well, there might be gold in the bottom of it, but you can make a hell of a lot more money putting up a ski resort on top of it. Gold is only good for what you can use it for. We really want to go skiing. But the only reason to really go skiing is because you get to wear all those funny outfits. And the outfits really kind of remind you of the things that someone like a Viking, who'd been mentioned earlier, was going ahead and doing things. And we all know what Vikings really were, weren't they? They sailed in ships. They raided things on the open seas. They were pirates. Now, they did not wear the little ceremonial, orange. I mean, we all know they didn't do that. Instead, though, they were dedicated to finding ways to go and slay things, drink beer. But these were not normal Vikings. These were Minnesota Vikings, which, as we all know, are pretty much extinct. They're extinct because they had things a little bit backwards. They went out, when they went after things, they said, okay, now, let's see if we got it right. First we burn, then we pillage, then we rape, which really cut down on the reproduction because they could only have babies in a mudstorm. So they were going ahead and working on this and trying to figure out how they could go ahead and increase their numbers because they needed more children. And the only way to get more children...
So hiding in the midst of this reproductive party was our space farmer who had been drawn to this area by the call of this ring. And so he's in Colorado and he's become one of those townies that, operates the ski lift because he just feels a draw to this mountain. And he doesn't understand why, but he just feels like he has to be there. So one day he's standing in his little, hut, watching the Vikings go down on the ski lift with their pillaging and whatnot. And he gets a phone call and he answers it, and it just says, down with the vampires, and then hangs up the phone. And so he's like, oh, what's this craziness? I don't know what this is, but I don't think I like vampires now. So he goes out and he's like, I'm going to ski this off because I'm stressed. So he gets to the top of the ski lift and he hops off because he's a bro and he can do that. And he is skiing down the mountain and this magic portal opens and he falls into a hole. And at the bottom of this hole is...
Trying to get out of this hole.
There's a huge shiny mountain to blend. And he falls into it face first and comes up encrusted with glittering jewelry and looking for all the world, like Bill Johnson. But unfortunately, the rest of the world instantly recoiled and expelled him into another dimension where he blended with my